Look, you can change how your brain works. It's not some fixed piece of hardware you're stuck with. You can learn anything faster than you think. You don't need to lock yourself away for 10 hours a day, grinding until your eyes bleed. That's the old way. It's inefficient. It's brutal. The real secret isn't about more time, it's about smarter habits. These are simple, powerful techniques that you can start using right now, today. They're based on real neuroscience, not some feel-good nonsense. Your brain is a muscle, and if you train it right, it gets stronger, faster, and more efficient. This isn't a fantasy, it's a choice. We're living in a world that's moving at light speed. Skills that were valuable 5 years ago are becoming obsolete. If you're not constantly learning and adapting, you're falling behind. It's that simple. Learning faster isn't just about acing a test or getting a promotion. It's about staying relevant. It's about freedom, the ability to pick up a new skill. A language, a coding framework, a musical instrument opens up doors you didn't even know existed. It gives you an edge. It saves you time, which is the one thing you can't buy more of. It builds a sense of accomplishment that nobody can take away from you. Think about it. The human brain is the most powerful tool on the planet. It put people on the moon. It built civilizations. It created art that can make you weep. I'll tell you a quick story. A while back, I decided I wanted to learn Spanish. I figured, how hard can it be? Millions of people speak it. So I did what everyone does. I signed up for a class. I bought a stack of textbooks that could double as a doorstop. I spent hours trying to memorize endless lists, vocabulary, verb conjugations. It was a grind. I felt like I was banging my head against a brick wall. The words would go in one ear and right out the other. I was putting in the time, but I wasn't seeing the results. It was frustrating as hell. After a couple of months, I was ready to quit. I was tired. I was bored. I could barely string a sentence together. It felt like my brain was rejecting the information. I thought maybe I'm just not a language person. Maybe my brain is too old to learn. That's negative self-talk. You start to believe some people are born learners and you're not. It's a complete myth. The problem wasn't my brain. The problem was my method. Outdated, inefficient, demoralizing. Then I started reading about how the brain actually learns. I got interested in the science, the mechanics, and I realized I was doing everything wrong. I was practicing for too long. I wasn't testing myself correctly. I wasn't giving my brain time to consolidate the info. So I threw out the old playbook. I decided to try something different. I started tiny, daily habits. Instead of 2-hour marathon sessions, I did 20 minutes of focused work. I did 30 minutes of focused work. The way I practiced changed completely. The difference was night and day. Within 3 months, I learned more Spanish than the prior year. All right, let's get into the first habit. This one is fundamental. Stop the long, unfocused study marathons. They don't work. Your brain's ability to focus is a finite resource. After about 25 to 30 minutes, it starts to decline sharply. You hit a point of diminishing returns. So, work in short, intense, focused bursts. This is called the Pomodoro technique. It's brutally effective. Set a timer for 25 minutes. For that 25 minutes, do nothing but the task. No phone, no email, no distractions, pure, deep focus. When the timer goes off, stop, get up, take a 5-minute break, walk around, stretch, get a glass of water, look out a window, do something unrelated to the task. This short break is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It lets your brain relax and reset, like letting a muscle rest between sets. It prevents burnout and keeps your mind sharp. Then go for another 25-minute round. After 4 cycles, take a longer 20 or 30-minute break. The method does 2 things. First, it makes the task less intimidating. Anyone can do 25 minutes. It's manageable. It helps beat procrastination. Second, it trains your brain to link the timer to intense concentration. Over time, when the timer starts, it's go time. You get better at dropping into deep work. It builds mental discipline. Try this now. Think of one thing you want to learn. A few chords on the guitar, a new software program, a chapter in a book. Find a timer. Put your phone on airplane mode. Set 25 minutes. Work on that one thing. When it rings, take 5 minutes. See how it feels. Notice your focus. This is the first building block. Master it, and you're ahead of the game. So you've got your focus bursts down. That's huge. Now change what you do during those bursts. Here's the second habit. Use active recall. Most people learn passively. They read a chapter in a book. They highlight passages. They reread their notes. Your brain is barely engaged. It's like watching someone else lift weights, expecting to get stronger. It doesn't work. Active recall is the opposite. Actively retrieve information from your memory. Read it once, then close the book. Explain the key concepts out loud in your own words, or write a summary from memory without looking. That struggle to remember builds strong neural pathways. It's mental weightlifting. It feels harder, and that's the point. Flashcards are a classic example. The front has a question or a term, the back has the answer. The magic is trying to remember before you flip. Use this anywhere. Cover the translation for languages. Turn dates and events into questions for history. Try to write a function from memory for code. Practice task. Take the one thing you focused on. After your next 25-minute session, close the book or turn off the screen. Grab a blank piece of paper. Try to write down the 3 most important things you just learned, from memory. Don't worry if it's perfect. Just try to pull the information out of your brain. This simple exercise forces deeper engagement. Small shift, massive retention. Okay, so you're using focus bursts and you're practicing active recall. You're already in the top tier of learners. Now we add the third habit, spaced repetition. This is how you take information from your short-term memory and lock it into your long-term memory for good. Your brain is wired to forget things. It's a feature, not a bug. It helps clear out useless information. To signal to your brain that a piece of information is important and worth keeping, you have to revisit it at increasing intervals over time. This is the opposite of cramming. When you cram for a test, you might remember the information for a day or two, but it disappears almost as quickly as it came. That's because you're not giving your brain the time it needs to consolidate those memories. Spaced repetition works by interrupting the forgetting curve. You review a piece of information right before you're about to forget it. You might learn a new concept today. You review it tomorrow, then you review it again in 3 days, then 1 week later, then 1 month later. Each time you successfully recall it after a longer gap, you're telling your brain, hey, this is important, hold on to this. You don't have to spend hours reviewing. A few minutes is all it takes. The key is the timing of the review, not the duration. You've got your focus, your recall, and your spacing. Now it's time to talk about the level of challenge. This leads us to habit 4, embracing desirable difficulty. This sounds like a contradiction, but it's a core principle of effective learning. The idea is that for learning to be efficient, it needs to be a little bit hard. Not so hard that you get frustrated and quit, but hard enough that your brain has to struggle. If it's too easy, you're not growing. You're just coasting. It's the same reason you increase the weight on the barbell at the gym. The resistance is what forces adaptation. So, what does this look like in practice? It means constantly pushing yourself just outside your comfort zone. If you're learning a language and you've mastered 100 vocabulary words, don't just keep reviewing those same 100 words. Start mixing in 10 new, more difficult words. Start mixing in 20 new, more difficult words. If you're learning guitar, once you can play a chord progression smoothly, try playing it a little faster, or try transitioning to a new chord you haven't mastered yet. It's about finding that sweet spot where you're succeeding maybe 80 to 90% of the time, but that last 10 to 20% is a real struggle. This is where a lot of people go wrong. They find something they're good at, and they just keep practicing that one thing because it feels good to succeed. But that feeling of ease is a sign that you're no longer learning effectively. You've hit a plateau. You have to be willing to make mistakes. In fact, you should be seeking out the edges of your ability where mistakes are likely to happen. When you make an error and then correct it, that's an incredibly powerful learning event. Your brain pays special attention to that moment and updates its model. This next habit is the one everyone knows but most people ignore. It's sleep. You can have the most perfect learning routine in the world, but if you're not sleeping, you're sabotaging all your hard work. Sleep is not a passive shutdown. It's an active, critical process for memory consolidation. While you sleep, your brain replays neural patterns, strengthening those connections, transferring memories from fragile short-term storage in the hippocampus to more permanent long-term storage in the cortex. If you skimp on sleep, you rob your brain of the time it needs to cement your learning. You can pull an all-nighter to cram and maybe pass, but a week later, you'll forget almost everything. That's because you skipped the most important step. Getting a full night of sleep, ideally 7 to 9 hours, after learning is like hitting the save button for your brain. It's non-negotiable. Even short naps can boost memory consolidation. Rest is also crucial, not just sleep. Taking breaks during learning, Pomodoro. Giving yourself days off. Your brain, like your muscles, needs time to recover. Learning non-stop 7 days a week leads to burnout. You'll lose motivation, and the quality of your focus will plummet. Taking a day off and doing something different helps you return refreshed. Your task? For the next week, prioritize sleep. Aim for at least 7 hours a night. Keep a consistent sleep schedule. Bed and wake times. Avoid screens for an hour before bed. Blue light interferes with sleep. Pay attention to how you feel. Notice energy levels and focus during the day. Being well rested makes every other habit far more effective. Don't treat sleep as a luxury. Treat it as core training. Your brain is a biological machine, and like any high-performance machine, it needs the right fuel and maintenance. This brings us to habit 6, eating and moving for your brain. What you put into your body has a direct and profound impact on your cognitive function, your focus, your memory, your mood. You can't expect to have a sharp mind if you're fueling it with garbage. Eating a diet rich in brain-healthy foods is one of the easiest ways to support your learning efforts. This isn't complicated. Think whole, unprocessed foods. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids like fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, walnuts, flax seeds. They are literally the building blocks of your brain cells. Antioxidants found in blueberries, dark chocolate, spinach, kale help protect your brain from oxidative stress. Also, stay hydrated. Your brain is about 75% water, and even mild dehydration can impair your attention and memory. Ditch the sugary drinks and just drink water throughout the day. You'll be amazed at how much clearer you feel. Then there's movement. Exercise is one of the most powerful brain boosters available. You don't have to become a marathon runner. Even a brisk 20-minute walk can have significant benefits. Aerobic exercise increases blood flow to the brain, delivering more oxygen and nutrients. It also stimulates the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which is like a miracle grow for your neurons. BDNF helps support the survival of existing neurons and encourages the growth of new ones. It directly facilitates learning and memory. So, here's your next simple task. For the next 3 days, incorporate 2 things into your routine. First, add 1 brain-healthy food to your diet each day. Walnuts, a side of spinach, or a few squares of dark chocolate. Second, go for a 20-minute walk. If you can, do it before a learning session. Notice the effect it has on your ability to focus. You're not just exercising your body, you're priming your brain for optimal performance. It's a 2-for-1 deal you can't afford to pass up. All these habits are powerful on their own, but their true potential is unlocked when you weave them into a consistent daily routine. This is habit 7. Build a ritual. Consistency is what turns conscious effort into unconscious competence. When learning becomes a non-negotiable part of your daily rhythm, like brushing your teeth, you no longer have to rely on willpower or motivation. It just happens. The goal is to create a small, sustainable ritual you can stick with every single day. Make it as frictionless as possible. Start small, really small. 5 minutes of active recall with flashcards each morning, or one 25-minute focused session after dinner. Pick a specific time and a specific place. This creates a cue for your brain. When you sit down at that desk at 7 p.m., your brain knows, okay, it's learning time. Automation of the startup process is critical for long-term adherence. Don't try to build a 3-hour habit from scratch. Start with 5 minutes and build from there. Stack your new habit onto an existing habit. Habit stacking. For example, after I finish my morning coffee, I will do 10 minutes of Spanish practice. Morning coffee is a well-established habit and a powerful trigger. That makes it much more likely you'll follow through. You're not finding time, you're linking to time that already exists. Let's put this into a final, actionable plan. Here's your call to action. Pick one skill, just one. For the next 30 days, commit to a simple daily ritual. Find 25 minutes for a focused session. During it, use active recall. After the session, schedule a review for tomorrow. That's it. Do that one small thing every day. If you do this, you'll see a noticeable change. You will prove you can rewire your brain and learn faster. Start today. Don't wait. Your future self will thank you for it.